The third iteration of Budget 2025 delivered by the Minister today largely succeeds in absorbing the 69 billion rand fiscal gap that was occasioned by dropping the proposed 0.5% VAT increase without substantially defunding improved social and infrastructure spend altogether. To some extent, it's a holding budget to settle months of instability since the first version of this budget was rejected in March, and the real work lies ahead in eliminating waste and reforming the budget-making process. Trade-offs between version 1 and version 3 of this budget were inevitable, but it is unfortunate that the spending on frontline services and infrastructure is reduced by 53 billion rand over the medium-term period to 180 billion rand. Deferring decisions on funding the now lost funding of the USAID PEPFAR relief is appalling. South Africa once had amongst the worst in the world responses to the HIV AIDS crisis, and risking people's lives by delaying funding is simply unacceptable and shocking. The single most important element of the minister's speech was his commitment to a broad-based expenditure review. This is the critical first step in zero-based budgeting, which the Good Party has been advocating for over the last 6 years. This is a key to unlocking and reducing wasteful expenditure and expenditure that is having no meaningful impact. And instead of simply adding an inflationary-related increase to budget items, the zero-based budgeting approach requires the budget to be amended to fund priority needs. It is regrettable that dropping the VAT increase resulted in an increase in the fuel levy. These costs will inevitably be passed on to consumers in the form of increased costs of goods and services, and also obviously in the increase in costs of public transport. But we accept that the minister had to find or raise additional revenue somewhere. He missed the boat, however, by keeping the sin tariff taxes relatively low, and there is scope for him to raise further revenue on the costs of tobacco and alcohol.